The happy world of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting makers and events that make news in the global village.
Good evening. This is the 5FM Radio Main News. The headlines. President Hakainde Hichilema has reaffirmed his commitment to tackling lawlessness in the mining sector. Government produces over 475 million fingerlings, surpassing the set target in the 8th National Development Plan. And Russian strikes killed 8 and hit Kyiv apartment block, officials say. This bulletin is live on our Facebook page, 5FM Radio Zambia, and YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, my name is Lance Sannie Banda. President Hakainde Hichilema has reaffirmed his commitment to tackling lawlessness in the mining sector. He cited the recent unrest in Chingola in the gold rush in Mufumbwe as clear indications of the need for heightened vigilance to protect citizens. The president expressed sorrow over the loss of life in Chingola and emphasized the ongoing need to combat illegal mining once and for all in order to ensure abundant employment opportunities, particularly for young people. He added that this is why driving economic growth, creating jobs, and securing long-term prosperity for the Zambian people remains a top priority. The president stressed that Zambia's young people, especially those living in the Copper Belt and other resource-rich areas, should be empowered through responsible use of the country's natural resources. He urged law enforcement agencies to take decisive action against, including illegal and hazardous mining activities. Environmental protection, the president has established an interministerial committee comprising relevant departments, chaired by Her Honor the Vice President Mtale Nalumango. The committee has been tasked with addressing illegal mining and the recent pollution incident in the Copper Belt. Zambia Must Prosper party leader Kelvin Bwalia has expressed deep concern over the recent riots that occurred in Chingola involving small-scale miners. In a statement, Mr. Bwalia says these disturbances are a direct result of frustration among the local citizens, particularly the youth and small-scale miners who feel increasingly marginalized in the of Zambia's national resources. He says it is unfortunate and unacceptable that in a land richly blessed with minerals, it is the foreign investors who continue to reap the greatest benefit, often at the expense of. Strongly condemns any form of violence, but they equally understand the pain and discontent of the people when their rights to economic participation are denied. He says the ZMP manifesto is clear. Natural resources belong to the Zambian people first, and any investor, or foreign or local, must work with Zambians, not against them. Government, through the Department of Fisheries, the ministry has already procured over 475 million fingerlings, surpassing the set target in the 8th National Development Plan to produce 460 million fingerlings by 2026. Speaking at the 97th Agriculture and Commercial Show Exhibitors Luncheon held at the Agriculture Showgrounds in Lusaka today, Fisheries and Livestock Minister Peter Kapala says this is a major boost for the aquaculture sector. This follows many challenges faced by farmers and the stakeholders, including those of low fish stocks, disease outbreaks, low calving rates, resistance to new methods, and limited access to quality inputs such as feed and fingerlings. Mr. Kapala says these are not just technical problems, but they are urgent issues that require joint effort and lasting solutions. He added that at the National Artificial Insemination Center NAIC in Mazabuka, the ministry is rehabilitating and upgrading the facility to improve livestock breeding. The aim is to increase the national calving rate from 28% to at least 60%. Mr. Kapala says under the 2025 National Livestock Vaccination Program, the ministry have distributed more than 2 million doses of animal vaccines to high-risk areas, as this will help build herd immunity, reduce livestock mortality, and improve production. The government of the Republic of Zambia, through the Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation, has reaffirmed its commitment to expanding strategic partnerships in the water and sanitation sector. This commitment was highlighted today by Collins Zovu, Member of Parliament, who is Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, during a high-level meeting with senior officials from Sinonachi Hainan Infrastructure Development Company led by Chairman Dr. Kaijibo. Engineer Nzovu expressed the government's appreciation for Sinomach Hainan's successful implementation of the Kafula Futa water supply system project on the Copper Belt. He says the transformative project has significantly improved access to clean and safe water for residents in Dola, Luansha, Masaiti, and parts of Mpongwe, and has contributed to the region's socio-economic development. He has emphasized that water remains a key driver of national dedication to water security and improved sanitation under the 8th National Development Plan, Vision 20. Sustainable Development Goal number 6. However, he acknowledged that challenges persist, particularly in rural and peri-urban areas, facing inadequate infrastructure and increasing pressure from climate change.
Not only inadequate, but it's also old. So we need new infrastructure. Further, the situation has been made worse by climate change. So climate change has further compounded these challenges through recurrent droughts and unpredictable rainfall patterns. I think in drought times we are experiencing water stress in our communities, as well as in water stress for our wild animals. So we're seeing our boreholes drying up, our streams drying up, our aquifers drying up. So we need to do something to still ensure that our people, our animals have water.
In response, Sinomach Hainan Chairman Mr. Kaijibo expressed or pledged rather, his company's continued cooperation with the Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation. He expressed Sinomach's interest in exporting and supporting Zambia in areas such as rainwater harvesting, water quality monitoring, and pollution prevention. And in other news trending this evening, Patriotic Front PF Party Lukasha constituency member of parliament George Chisanga has supported the deferral of the Lands and Deeds Registry Amendment Bill number 13 of 2025. Ministry of Agriculture Permanent Secretary for Technical Services John Mlongoti has reiterated that the government's commitment to addressing food and nutrition security is clearly reflected in the ministry's flagship program, the Comprehensive Agriculture Transformation Support Program, CART-SP. Up next, the business news.
5FM Radio Business keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
Community Action Against Corruption notes that the Financial Intelligence Center FIC reports are becoming academic and merely formal documents. The organization's chief executive officer, Brighton Tembo, says this trend is similar to the Auditor General's reports. He notes that Zambia currently lacks strong and independent law enforcement agencies capable of punishing the misconduct of individuals and institutions mentioned in these reports. Mr. Tembo states that the release of the 2024 FIC report has overshadowed and eclipsed the 2023 report, which remains unattended to and unresolved. He believes that the current weak and selective approach to fighting corruption has rendered rather the FIC reports academic in nature. Commission SEC and Drug Enforcement Commission DEC, where they are gathering dust.
People listed in those reports. The same happens to the Auditor General's report, which ends at a Public Accounts Committee at Parliament, and nothing follows. So you can see that these reports now, they are slowly becoming a waste of state resources because there is no appropriate punishment given to the people listed in those reports. So just as long as we continue like this, then we are not doing anything. And moreover, this is coupled with very mandated to fight corruption in the country today, which are failing to act according to the expectation of the people.
Business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
And in foreign news, 8 people have been killed and more than 130 others were wounded in a barrage of Russian drones and missiles that struck several districts of Kyiv and brought down an apartment block overnight, Ukrainian officials have said. A 6-year-old boy and his mother were among the dead, as more than 24 locations across the capital were hit. Mayor Vitaly Klinchovsky said 12 children were among the wounded. The big war began. For more, a roundup from the BBC.
Ukraine's parliament has approved This reverses a law introduced just last week when President Zelensky brought the agencies under political control. Washington's key envoy, Steve Witkoff, is due to meet with the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, in the outrage grows over the dire humanitarian situation in Gaza. A UN-backed monitoring group has warned that famine is unfolding. Myanmar's military government has declared an end to a state of emergency put in place 4.5 years ago when it ousted Aung San Suu Kyi's elected government.
And in sports news, Rasmus Højlund says he could have done with some help in the Manchester United attack in previous seasons and is more than ready for more competition in the main striker role. After 48 hours of intense speculation around United's search for forward reinforcements and the knowledge, RB Leipzig's highly rated Slovenian Benjamin Sesko is at the top of their wish list. Højlund answered back on and off the pitch in Chicago on Wednesday. The Denmark national scored one and thought he had a second as United beat Bournemouth 4-1 at Soldier Field in their second game of the Premier League Summer Series. And the evening weather report is that it is mainly clear, windy at times, and mild to cool. Ends our weather report, and that item brings us to the end of the news. But before we go, a recap of the stories that made headlines. President Hakainde Hichilema has reaffirmed his commitment to tackling lawlessness in the mining sector. Government, through the Department of Fisheries, the ministry has already produced over 475 million fingerlings, surpassing the Earth National Development Plan to produce 460 million fingerlings by 2026. And finally, 8 people have been killed and more than 130 others were wounded in a barrage of Russian drones and missiles that struck several districts of Kyiv and brought down an apartment block overnight, Ukrainian officials have said. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the happy world of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. My name is Lance Sannie. Enjoy the rest of the evening.